As we age, the people we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on our well-being. Have you ever left someone's home feeling emotionally drained, frustrated, or even questioning your own happiness? If so, you're not alone. In our golden years, every moment is precious, and the company we keep plays a crucial role in our emotional, mental, and even physical health. In this video, I want to share with you 4 types of people whose homes you should think twice before visiting after 65. These individuals may seem harmless at first, but their energy can slowly chip away at your peace of mind. By being mindful of your relationships and setting healthy boundaries, you can ensure that your golden years are filled with joy, positivity, and genuine companionship. Stay with me until the end of this video, because this is not just about avoiding negative people, it's about embracing relationships that truly uplift you. Let's dive in. Type 1. The chronic complainer. We all have days where we need to vent, but some people make complaining a way of life. These individuals find fault in everything: the weather, their health, the government, or even small everyday inconveniences. A conversation with them quickly turns into a long list of grievances, making it hard to focus on anything positive. Chronic complainers tend to view life through a negative lens, seeing every setback as a personal injustice. Unlike constructive criticism, which seeks solutions, chronic complaining is often repetitive and unproductive. These individuals rarely take action to change their circumstances, but instead focus on rehashing the same frustrations over and over again. This negativity stems from various sources. Some may have developed a habit of complaining due to upbringing, while others may use it as a coping mechanism for unresolved emotional issues. Regardless of the cause, being around such individuals can be emotionally exhausting. The impact of chronic complaining on others. Negativity is contagious. When we constantly engage with chronic complainers, we start seeing the world through their perspective. Over time, this can drain our energy and alter our own mindset, making us more prone to dissatisfaction. Research suggests that prolonged exposure to negativity can even increase stress levels and reduce overall well-being. Consider the case of Mr. Thompson, a patient of mine who visited a longtime friend every weekend out of obligation. After each visit, he felt mentally exhausted and emotionally burdened. His friend never spoke of anything positive, just endless complaints about aches, past regrets, and unfairness in life. At first, Mr. Thompson thought it was his duty to listen, but he soon realized that these visits were affecting his own mood and mental health. Another example is workplace environments where chronic complaining is prevalent. Employees who are surrounded by negativity often report higher stress levels, lower job satisfaction, and decreased productivity. When complaining becomes the norm, it fosters a culture of dissatisfaction, making it difficult for anyone to remain motivated and engaged. If you have a chronic complainer in your life, you don't have to cut them off entirely. Instead, consider the following strategies. Set boundaries. If someone's constant complaining is taking a toll on your well-being, limit the time you spend with them. Politely excuse yourself when conversations become too negative, or redirect the discussion toward more positive topics. Change the subject. If a conversation starts to spiral into negativity, gently shift the topic to something uplifting. Ask about their hobbies, favorite movies, or future plans to steer them away from their complaints. Encourage solutions. If they complain about the same issues repeatedly, ask, "What do you think you can do about it?" This approach encourages them to think proactively instead of dwelling on problems. Don't engage in the negativity. Sometimes chronic complainers want validation for their grievances. Instead of agreeing or adding your own complaints, try responding with neutral or positive statements. This may help change the tone of the conversation. Surround yourself with positivity. Balance your interactions by spending time with people who uplift and inspire you. Engaging with optimistic individuals can counteract the effects of chronic complaining and improve your own outlook on life. Practice emotional detachment. If you must spend time with a chronic complainer, remind yourself that their negativity is their perspective, not yours. Avoid absorbing their emotions and keep your mental space protected. Offer perspective. Sometimes chronic complainers get stuck in their viewpoint. Gently offering a different perspective, such as focusing on gratitude or highlighting positive aspects of a situation, may help shift their mindset. It's also important to reflect on our own behaviours. Have you ever found yourself constantly complaining without realising it? While occasional venting is normal, frequent negativity can harm our own mental health and relationships. Practicing gratitude, focusing on solutions, and making an effort to see the positives in life can help prevent us from falling into a chronic complaining habit. Chronic complainers can drain energy and negatively impact those around them. While it's natural to feel compassion for their struggles, it's essential to set healthy boundaries and protect your own well-being. By limiting exposure, redirecting conversations, and encouraging solutions, you can maintain a positive mindset and avoid getting caught in the cycle of negativity. Remember, life is too short to spend it dwelling on complaints. Focus on what brings you joy and fulfillment instead. Type 2, the manipulative user. Some people only reach out when they need something. They might disguise their requests as flattery or guilt, saying things like, "I don't know what I'd do without you," or "You're the only one who understands me." Over time, you start to feel obligated rather than appreciated. Manipulative users often exhibit specific behaviours that distinguish them from genuine friends or family members. They tend to only call or text when they need something. These individuals rarely check in on you unless they require a favour, financial assistance, or emotional support. Use guilt as a weapon. They make you feel bad for not helping them, saying things like, "If you really cared about me, you'd do this for me." Shower you with insincere compliments. They might build you up just before making a request, saying, "You're always so reliable. I knew I could count on you for this." Disregard your needs and boundaries. When you need support, they are nowhere to be found. If you try to set limits, they react with anger, disappointment, or passive-aggressive behaviour. Keep a mental tally of past favours. If you ever try to say no, they remind you of all the times they have helped you in the past, even if those were small or insignificant gestures compared to what they've asked of you. Being in a one-sided relationship can be exhausting. Over time, the manipulated person may feel unappreciated. They start to notice that their kindness is taken for granted. Emotionally drained. Always being there for someone who never reciprocates can lead to burnout. Resentful. The realization that they are being used can foster bitterness and anger. Guilty for setting boundaries. Manipulators excel at making others feel bad for prioritizing their own needs. Why do manipulative users act this way? Manipulative users are often driven by their own insecurities, selfishness, or a sense of entitlement. Some possible reasons include a sense of entitlement. They believe they deserve your help simply because of who they are, a family member, an old friend, etc. Learned behaviour. They have gotten used to taking advantage of others without consequences. Lack of empathy. They struggle to see beyond their own needs and fail to consider how their actions impact others. Fear of true reciprocity. They might be afraid of genuine relationships that require an emotional investment. One of the best ways to protect yourself from manipulative users is by setting clear boundaries. Here are a few ways to do that. 1. Learn to say no without guilt. True friends and loving family members respect boundaries, while manipulators will try to guilt trip you for setting them. Practice phrases like, "I'm sorry, but I can't help with that. I have a lot on my plate right now and need to focus on my own responsibilities. I appreciate you thinking of me, but I'm not available to do that." 2. Assess the relationship. Ask yourself, does this person ever reach out just to check on me without needing something? Do I feel valued in this relationship, or am I just a resource to them? Have they ever reciprocated my kindness and support? 3. Distance yourself if necessary. Not every relationship is worth maintaining, especially if it is consistently draining. If you realise that someone is only in your life to use you, it may be time to step back. 4. Call out the behaviour. If you feel comfortable, address the issue directly. You can say something like, "I've noticed that you only reach out when you need something. I value our relationship, but I would appreciate more balance. I feel like our interactions have been one-sided. I would love for our friendship to be more mutual." Surround yourself with supportive people. Invest time in relationships that bring you joy and fulfillment. Seek out people who genuinely care about you and reciprocate kindness. Not every person who asks for help is a manipulator. Helping others can be a wonderful, fulfilling experience, but it should come from a place of genuine willingness, not obligation. Real friendships and family relationships should be mutual. If someone only calls when they need a favor but is absent when you need support, it's time to reevaluate that connection. The key is to differentiate between those who appreciate your help and those who expect it as a given. A healthy relationship is built on respect, care, and mutual support. You deserve to be surrounded by people who value you for who you are, not just for what you can do for them. Type 3, the drama magnet. Some people thrive on chaos. They always have a new feud, a new betrayal, or a fresh complaint about someone else. Every conversation turns into a dramatic retelling of how they were wronged. If there's peace, they find a way to disrupt it. If there's a conflict, they amplify it. These individuals are known as drama magnets, and they have a way of pulling others into their emotional storms. Being around a drama magnet is emotionally draining. Their problems become your problems, whether you intend for that to happen or not. Their negativity can seep into your own mindset, leaving you feeling anxious, irritable, or overwhelmed. I once had a patient, Ms. Ellis, who frequently visited an old friend who always had drama to share. At first, she thought she was just being a good listener, offering support and empathy as her friend vented about various betrayals, arguments, and injustices. But over time, Miss Ellis noticed a pattern. No matter how much she listened, the drama never ended. Instead, each visit left her feeling emotionally exhausted. Worse, she found herself dragged into conflicts that weren't hers. Her friend would say things like, "I told them you agree with me," or "You wouldn't believe what she did. I know you think it's terrible too." Miss Ellis, a naturally kind and compassionate person, suddenly realized that she was spending her energy on problems that didn't belong to her. She was absorbing stress that she had no control over. The drama wasn't hers, yet she carried it with her, affecting her peace of mind and overall well-being. Why do drama magnets behave this way? People who constantly stir up drama often have deep-seated emotional needs that they attempt to fulfill through conflict. Some possible reasons include validation, seeking. Drama magnets often crave attention and sympathy. They want others to affirm that they are the victim and that their feelings are justified. Boredom and stimulation. Some people create conflict simply because they find peace and stability boring. They thrive on intensity and strong emotions, even if those emotions are negative. Lack of emotional regulation. Many drama magnets never ever learned healthy ways to emotions. Instead of processing their feelings constructively, they externalize them, dragging others into their turmoil. Insecurity and low self-esteem. Those who feel uncertain about their own worth may stir up drama as a way to assert control or make themselves feel important. Learned behavior. If someone grew up in an environment where conflict was the norm, they may not even realize they are constantly creating unnecessary drama. To them, this is just how relationships work. While listening to a drama magnet might seem harmless at first, over time, it takes a toll on your emotional and mental health. Here are some of the ways it can impact you. Increased stress and anxiety. Constant exposure to negative stories and conflicts can lead to heightened stress levels. Even if the drama isn't yours, your body and mind still react as if it were. Disrupted peace of mind. Instead of enjoying your day, you might find yourself replaying someone else's conflicts in your head. Damaged relationships. If you are constantly involved in someone else's disputes, it can affect your other relationships. People may start associating you with drama, even if you're only a listener. Emotional manipulation. Some drama magnets are skilled at making others feel guilty for not engaging in their issues. They might say things like, "I thought you cared about me," or "You're the only person I can talk to." Loss of energy and joy. The time and energy spent on unnecessary drama could be better spent on activities that bring you happiness and fulfillment. If you recognize a drama magnet in your life, it's important to set boundaries. Protecting your emotional health is not selfish, it's necessary. Here are some strategies to distance yourself from constant drama. 1. Limit your exposure. If every interaction with a certain person leaves you feeling drained, it may be time to limit how much time you spend with them. You don't have to cut them out of your life completely, but you can reduce the frequency and duration of your conversations. 2. Redirect the conversation. If a drama magnet starts pulling you into their problems, try shifting the conversation to something more positive. You might say, "That sounds really frustrating. But let's talk about something uplifting. Have you read any good books lately?" 3. Avoid taking sides. Many drama magnets want others to validate their grievances by taking sides. Resist the urge to agree or disagree. Instead, respond with neutral statements like, "I can see why you feel that way," or "I hope you find a good resolution." 4. Set clear boundaries. If someone constantly drags you into their conflicts, it's okay to let them know that you don't want to be involved. You can say, "I care about you, but I prefer to stay out of these kinds of situations." 5. Don't offer emotional labor. You are not responsible for fixing someone else's problems. Offer empathy, but resist the urge to provide solutions unless asked. You might say, "That sounds tough. What do you think you'll do about it?" This puts the responsibility back on them. 6. Surround yourself with peaceful people. If you consistently feel stressed after spending time with a certain person, it may be time to reevaluate that relationship. Seek out people who bring joy, not stress, into your life. Spend time with those who encourage peace, personal growth, and happiness. 7. Practice mindfulness and detachment. Remind yourself that other people's problems are not yours to carry. If you find yourself feeling anxious about someone else's drama, take a deep breath and mentally let go of the issue. Meditation and mindfulness can help reinforce emotional boundaries. Life after 65 should be about relaxation, joy, and meaningful connections. It should not be spent entangled in unnecessary emotional battles. As we age, our time becomes even more valuable, and how we choose to spend it can greatly impact our well-being. If you notice that a certain relationship consistently brings you stress, take a step back and ask yourself, is this adding to my happiness or taking away from it? Choosing peace doesn't mean you don't care about others. It means you care about yourself too. Miss Ellis eventually made the difficult but necessary decision to distance herself from her drama-filled friend. She still cared about her, but she recognized that the emotional toll was too great. Instead, she sought out friendships that were uplifting and peaceful. As a result, she felt lighter, happier, and more in control of her emotional well-being. We all have a limited amount of emotional energy each day. Where you invest that energy will shape your happiness, stress levels, and overall well-being. Drama magnets will always exist, but you have the power to decide how much influence they have in your life. Surround yourself with people who bring light into your days, not those who cloud them with unnecessary storms. Peace is a choice, and it's a choice worth making. Type 4. The negative nostalgic. We all enjoy reminiscing about the past. A well-timed memory can bring warmth to our hearts, reminding us of loved ones, happy experiences, and lessons learned. Nostalgia can be a powerful tool for connection, allowing us to reflect on how far we've come. However, for some people, reminiscing is not a source of joy, but a trap. Instead of cherishing good memories, they become fixated on regrets, losses, and the painful what-ifs of life. They see the past as something lost forever, and they struggle to find happiness in the present. This mindset creates a cycle of negativity that can be difficult to escape. The negative nostalgic is someone who dwells on the past to the extent that it consumes their present. Their conversations often revolve around regret, disappointment, and a longing for what once was. While others use nostalgia to celebrate life's journey, this type of person uses it to reinforce the belief that life has become worse over time. A common phrase among negative nostalgics is, "Everything was better back in the day." They may speak at length about how society, technology, or personal relationships have deteriorated. Their focus on past mistakes and missed opportunities prevents them from appreciating what is happening in their lives now. This type of nostalgia can be especially prevalent in older adults, but it can affect people of all ages who feel disconnected from the present or uncertain about the future. One of my patients, Mr. Harris, once described his visits to an old military friend named George. Every time they met, George would lament how life had gone downhill. His conversations were filled with resentment over missed opportunities, betrayals, and the ways in which the world had changed for the worse. At first, Mr. Harris listened patiently, offering sympathy. But over time, he noticed that these visits left him feeling drained and bitter. Instead of reflecting on his own positive experiences, he found himself focusing on his own past disappointments. The negativity was contagious. This kind of thinking can have a profound impact on mental and emotional well-being. Constantly reliving past mistakes or lamenting a lost golden era can lead to chronic dissatisfaction. Research has shown that excessive nostalgia, when focused on regret and longing rather than appreciation and growth, is linked to depression and anxiety. It can also lead to social isolation, as others may find it exhausting to engage in repetitive negative conversations. Moreover, negative nostalgics often resist change. Because they idealize the past, they struggle to adapt to new realities. This resistance can prevent them from forming new relationships, exploring new hobbies, or embracing opportunities that could bring joy. Over time, their worldview becomes more rigid, reinforcing the belief that nothing good can come from the present or future. Why do some people become negative nostalgics? Several factors contribute to this mindset. Unresolved grief and loss. Some people hold on to the past because they associate it with loved ones who are no longer with them. Instead of honoring those memories with gratitude, they cling to them in a way that prevents healing. Fear of the future. For many, uncertainty about the future makes the past feel safer and more appealing. When people feel out of control, they may retreat into memories of a time when life seemed more predictable. Personal regret. Some individuals struggle with decisions they made in the past. Instead of learning from mistakes, they continuously replay them, wishing they had chosen differently. Romanticizing the past. People tend to remember the good parts of the past while downplaying the challenges they faced. This selective memory creates the illusion that life was better before, even when that may not have been the case. Lack of purpose in the present. When someone lacks a sense of purpose or fulfillment in their current life, they may turn to the past as a form of escape. Without meaningful activities or relationships, nostalgia becomes a substitute for living in the moment. While it's natural to reflect on the past, it's important to keep nostalgia in balance. Life is still full of opportunities, joy, and new experiences, no matter our age or circumstances. Here are some strategies to overcome negative nostalgia. Acknowledge the past, but don't live in it. It's okay to remember and honor the past, but don't let it define you. Accept that time moves forward and focus on making new memories rather than just reliving old ones. Surround yourself with positive people. Spend time with individuals who appreciate the present and look forward to the future. Being around people who embrace life's abilities can help shift your perspective. Practice gratitude. Keep a journal where you write down things you are grateful for each day. This practice can help you shift focus from what has been lost to what remains. Find new purpose. Engage in activities that bring joy and fulfillment. Whether it's learning a new skill, volunteering, or starting a creative project, having something meaningful to look forward to can reduce the tendency to dwell on the past. Limit exposure to negative influences. If certain people or media reinforce negative nostalgia, consider setting boundaries. Instead, seek out content that inspires and uplifts you. Embrace change. Change is inevitable, and resisting it only leads to frustration. Instead of mourning what has changed, look for ways to adapt and grow. Seek professional help if needed. If nostalgia is causing significant distress or leading to depression, therapy can help. A therapist can provide strategies to process past experiences in a healthy way and encourage forward-thinking habits. The past is a part of us, but it should not control us. Every day offers a chance to create new experiences, build new relationships, and find new sources of happiness. The key to a fulfilling life is not in replaying old memories like a sad song on repeat, but in embracing the present and looking forward to the future. The best way to honor the past is to live fully in the now. Nostalgia can be a source of warmth and wisdom when used in balance, but it should never prevent us from appreciating the beauty of today. Instead of asking, why can't things be like they used to, we should ask, What can I do today to make life meaningful? The past has shaped us, but the future is still ours to write. As we grow older, our emotional well-being becomes just as important as our physical health. The people we surround ourselves with shape our moods, our thoughts, and even our overall happiness. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's necessary. The company you keep has a direct impact on your mental and emotional state, influencing your outlook on life and even your longevity. Before you visit someone, ask yourself, do they uplift me or do they drain me? Do I feel better after spending time with them or do I leave feeling exhausted? Your time is valuable, and as we age, we become more aware of how precious every moment is. Choose to spend your time with those who genuinely care for you, bring you joy, and add positivity to your life. Healthy relationships should nurture your soul, not deplete it. Surrounding yourself with kind, supportive, and loving individuals can enhance your sense of purpose, improve your mood, and even contribute to better physical health. On the other hand, toxic relationships filled with negativity, criticism, or emotional exhaustion can take a toll on your well-being. What do you think about this topic? Have you ever experienced a situation where you had to distance yourself from certain people for your well-being? Let me know in the comments. Your insights and stories might help someone else going through the same thing. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. Your support helps us continue creating content to guide and inspire you in your golden years. Thank you for watching Golden Years Balance. See you in the next video.